Hello, welcome back, or if you're new then well, it's great to have you here. Just have quite a few things on my mind lately, and yeah, I'm just enjoying providing or giving you an insight into my life and things that I'm doing in order to feel, I guess, energetically lighter, just to feel happier in my day-to-day. Been removing a lot of suffering lately, a lot of things that I was depressed and anxious about before, just no longer. Still there, but yeah, it's always going to be a work in progress, but I'm feeling good overall. And today I was just thinking about how I spent so much of my life trying to please my parents. I was just living my life for my parents. I was a victim, I guess, to their expectations. I feel like I was always trying to please them growing up, but with no success, because I just wasn't passionate about anything, and so I just never really excelled at anything, and I just wasn't good at many things growing up. So there was literally nothing in my eyes that my parents would kind of be proud of. I could just never really please them, and it was tough. It was tough living for my parents. I think it got to quite extreme levels in terms of me trying to please them. I, for example, hated the education system, but I knew that this was a way, I guess, to make them proud and to please them. I never did too well at school, so that was frustrating because I was unable to please my parents, unable to make them proud. I really hated schoolwork, and somehow I found myself getting to the end of my A-levels. I think I passed like 2 of them and failed 1. I was in no kind of, I wasn't in the right place to go to university, but I managed to bypass the system in a way. Managed to find a pretty rubbish university, but yeah, I was desperate. So I just thought the only way to please my parents was to go to university, so I ended up going to university. And yeah, it sucked, I hated it. Spent 3 years there, did a lot of partying. Met some pretty cool people, but hated studying. But I just pushed through. And yeah, I messed up my grades in my final year, throughout really, but I was lying to my parents all along to keep it a secret. And then yeah, I got to the end of university, and yeah, it's got a really rubbish grade. And I felt so awful, so ashamed, so guilty. I felt like I was in such a dark place throughout university, throughout a lot of my childhood. And yeah, it was hard having to tell my parents that I'd not failed university but not got the grade that I guess they were expecting, or so I thought they were expecting from me. And so yeah, university finished and I had a real bright idea. I decided to stay for another year and do a master's, which yeah, I thought, well, I've messed this up, so I'm just going to keep going and try and eventually make them proud, because I felt like all I cared about at this point was like damn it, I just want to make them proud. And yeah, so then I went to university, went and did my masters for another year. Think about it now and just was thinking, I just kind of think to myself, what was I thinking then? Because I hated the education system, but I was just so much under the power, wanting to please my parents. I had nothing else that I could possibly give to please them. I wasn't interested in anything at all. I had no passions that I was aware of at this point. So I did it. I went and did my masters. Yeah, it was tough. I got through it. I survived. Got a better grade than my degree, but yeah, at the expense of what? Just my mental health. Don't really think my parents acknowledged it too much at the time either, because I studied something that I guess they didn't deem as that respectful. So in the end, I just, wasn't even really worth it. But anyway, it's funny to look back on that now, because I'm a completely different person, and I'm like totally not living for my parents anymore. And this has just been the most freeing thing I could possibly do for my mental health. As I was saying, for my kind of energy, I feel so much lighter. Just living for myself now. Not caring what my parents think. Not doing anything in order to please them, in order to live up to their expectations, whatever that means, in order to make them proud. Nah, just doing it all for myself now. Doing it all for myself, for my family, for my little one here, but mainly for myself. And yeah, it feels great. I used to just be so affected by what my parents would say, particularly the criticism that would be directed towards me, the expectations that they would express either verbally or just through disappointment. But yeah, I truly feel free of that now. For example, I was speaking to my mum the other day on the phone, and I'm almost 30, well, I'm 27, so I've got almost 3 years till I'm 30. But my mum was projecting on me, similar to how she used to do when I was growing up, or similar to how my dad did. But yeah, she just said like, oh, you're going to be 30 soon, you need to kind of get your life sorted over the next few years, get on a career path, do things that a 30-year-old should be doing, that sort of thing. And usually I'd be super affected by it, I'd take it personally, but I was on a video call with her, and I was just trying not to laugh, because I just had this massive grin on my face. I was moving away from the camera, just a big beaming smile, because I realised that I was not affected by these words anymore. So yeah, it felt super empowering, super freeing, just amazing. So yeah, just totally lifted this feeling of, living to please my parents, trying to live up to their expectations, and yeah, I found my passions now as well, which is amazing, but I will speak about that in another video. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments whether you can kind of resonate with this. Maybe you had super supportive parents that didn't pressure you, I don't know, but I'd like to hear if did you go through the same thing, or is it different for you? Hope you enjoyed watching the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.